What's up, everybody? It's Batkerm, the Unknown here, and may the 4th be with you. Happy Star Wars Day, everybody. On today, I always like to watch my favorite Star Wars movie, which, of course, is Empire Strikes Back, where we're introduced to Boba Fett and his Slave One. Well, today I figured, why not celebrate Star Wars Day a little bit further and take a look at Boba Fett's newest release from the Vintage Collection. Now, this is the Boba Fett VC-186 Return of the Jedi figure, where they had the sky blue back. Now, I wasn't lucky enough to get one of the orange variants. If you guys have one of those, please let me know. But these two figures, although they look very, very similar, they're actually different. Now, there was a running change that Hasbro did with this figure. They left out something in the original sculpt of the figure. But let's go ahead and take a closer look and open them up and see if you guys can spot it before I even mention it. All right, so here are the two Boba Fett Return of the Jedi figures. Now, they look very, very similar. They look like they're exactly the same, but if you look at the chest piece of this figure, if we can get it to focus, you see how he's got little notches right there. This one actually does not have that. So this was one of the first releases of this figure, and he's missing those little cutouts, and that's where he has like counters and all that. They really focus on that in The Mandalorian Season 2. But let's go ahead and open these guys up and see if there are any other differences. All right, guys, and before we take a look at the actual figures, I want you to look at the back of the card backs. If you notice, they're both exactly the same, but even when you look at the original image of Boba Fett, he's on the orange back as well, and same over here. So if you guys have that orange Boba Fett, that's going to be something that's very collectible in the future. So definitely hang on to it. Don't open it. Just save it and or sell it. It's probably going to be worth a good chunk of change. All right, guys. So first off, here are the weapons that the figures come with. And there is a difference. This one's the first issue of the figure. And if you notice, it's a little bit darker than the other one. As in, this one has more of a brown wash over it compared to this one. It's really up to preference. They both look rather good. And if you just flip them over again, there's a lot of detail on these. And they just look phenomenal. But other than that, there's nothing really different with this weapon. All right, and here are the Boba Fett figures. And again, if you notice, that breastplate right there doesn't have any notches out, but that one does. So that's the running change that they're kind of looking at. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, right there and right there, there's nothing in that corner of the breastplate. So this is the newer one, the running change they're doing. This is the older one. I'm not noticing any other differences other than that. So if you flip them over, even I think the paint apps are pretty much the same on the jetpack, which the cape lays perfectly. The jetpack, the colors on it look amazing. The paint application's really, really good. And I'm told this is why Boba Fett is one of the hardest characters to cosplay as, just because you can't get everything right. Everything's kind of thrown together in a sense, but this figure is absolutely phenomenal. If you get a chance, definitely pick this up, whether it's the first issue or not. But let's go ahead and stand him up and take a look at him that way. All right, so here we have, starting from the left is the first release of the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. And then in the middle is the Boba Fett with the running change. You can kind of see how he's got those notches right there. And then just for comparison's sake, here is the Empire Boba Fett. And you can tell just by the color and the shading. And he even has those notches cut out in his chest with the red filled in there. So that's kind of interesting. But yeah, this is, I love the return. It's obviously missing a few things here and there, especially those notches, especially for this one. He looks really, really good, and the level of detail is phenomenal. His helmet does not come off, though, and it looks like they kind of sculpted a chin underneath the helmet, but it's all one solid piece, and that kind of goes for this one as well. But he at least has the notches there. I would have liked to see at least a stripe of black go through, or red, kind of like how the Empire did. And his rangefinder is not movable. It's stuck in the up position. So although they look really, really good, they still have some fine tuning that they could do to kind of improve him. All right, everybody. So what did you think? That was Boba Fett, the Return of the Jedi Vintage Collection figure. I absolutely loved it. If you see him out in the wild at Walmart or Target, or if you see him online at one of your online stores, I highly recommend you pick up this figure. Both versions are still phenomenal, even with the running changes and little errors. but the detail in this guy is amazing. Definitely pick him up if you get the chance. This Boba Fett's going back into the carbon freezing chamber. This one is going to be piloting my Slave One, and that one is going into Jabba's Palace playset. So they all had their spots already. Again, today's May 4th. What are you doing to celebrate Star Wars Day? Are you playing your favorite Star Wars video game or watching your favorite Star Wars movie? Which one are you playing or watching? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm Batkerm. I had a whole lot of fun doing this. May the 4th be with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Batkerm out.